Oh, you've both been very patient. Steve, you try and run out in front of T-Rex. Let's see that. Yes, go. Ready, go. Not in a hurry, Steve. Thursday. Yeah, not in a hurry unless he's off his line. 63 degrees at 10 a.m. First of all, we are really late, 10 a.m., Thursday, August 22. And 63 degrees at this hour? That's nice. Did you close your windows last night or grab an extra blanket? Another morning of record low temperatures. Not so much in the Northeast, but I missed the 6 a.m. temperatures and the 7 a.m. temperatures because I didn't wake up until after 8. I was kept out late. But at that time, there were still records from Missouri all the way to, looks like Virginia. Once again, you know, yesterday morning in Virginia, it was 32 degrees under the center of the high. Is usually where you get your coldest air as that high moves in. And then the high gradually modifies. Out in Princeton, Massachusetts, Linda, Highfield Farm says, yeah, this is the 6th day in a row where I've been firing up the stove, living off the land for the most part, and using the stove for cooking and for heating. Yeah, the heat, the temperature in some of the houses has gotten down in the lower 60s. I don't know how you feel, but I'm not freezing at that point, but that's when you start thinking about turning on the heat, when you see the indoor temperature in the lower 60s. But this is the peak of the chill right now. And look at that blue sky. We're smoke-free. Here's the satellite imagery. This morning you still see kind of same story as yesterday. Clear in southern New England, but you don't see any smoke coming out of Pennsylvania. And the clouds continue fairly thick across from Montreal to Caribou, Maine, with clouds up and down the Green Mountains. It's the same story. The upper level low that a week ago was not forecast to produce precipitation certainly did produce precipitation yesterday. Here's the CoCoRaHS numbers from Vermont, more than an inch in Montgomery and Underhill yesterday, and there were definitely reports of hail. And then if you move further to the south, Auburn, near Manchester, New Hampshire, reported 1/3 of an inch of rain. Natick and Sudbury reported about 2/10 of an inch of rain, and some amazing images coming out from yesterday. I could see them on the horizon, but they were kind of behind other clouds. But this is what they look like. Let's see, who do we have? Peter Lavasco had an image of it. Aaron had an image of it, asking about what's the anvil, the top of the cloud. Why does it go up and spread out? Because the updraft goes up to where there was very little wind in the center of a upper level low, and the air kind of spreads out in both directions, creates these anvil tops. And that storm that was near Manchester as the sun was going down was barely moving. And Rob Wright was in Rollinsford doing his artistic photography and captured the cumulonimbus thunderstorm with the incredible lightning. And he took a shot of the radar and said, wow, there's a lightning bolt way outside the main rain shaft. And he looked back, and in his time lapse, he got the thunder bolt of lightning coming out of the top of the cloud away from the rain and the hail. What a shot. It's called bolt from the blue. I wasn't really that familiar with the term, but Pete Bouchard talked about it. He said the bolt from the blue. It's a positive charge, and it's much stronger than the negative charge. Has to do with the hail shafts pulling down the electrons, leaving the protons in the top of the cloud and making it a positive charge, lightning discharge from way up the top of the anvil, and it can strike miles away from the rain core. So that's at once beautiful and utterly captivating, but also very dangerous too. Somebody got some video. Let's see. The video came in of hail with that cloud as the sun was going down. Jacqueline Thomas. I think this is Manchester, New Hampshire. The hail pinging off the air conditioner. And it looks like it was up to marble-sized hail or so out in the bark mulch last evening. I could see the tops of those clouds from here, but I couldn't capture. I did a little time lapse, but the clouds near Boston kind of blocked that anvil cloud from me, but it was definitely a gorgeous evening, and I could see the showers and storms moving off from southwest to northeast under the upper level low. So that was supposed to be a dry day from about 5 days ago, and it wasn't. Today is mostly a dry day again, but there the cumulus lifting up, and you can see the bottom of the clouds up there around, I don't know, 7,000 or 8,000 feet, and they're going up and kind of leaning toward the right. So the upper level flow is from the west, and the south side of this upper low is going to be slow to move out, but today showers and thunderstorms are most prevalent in the state of Maine. Here's the HRRR for today. There are the showers and storms, and there were rainbows yesterday too, and there'll be rainbows again today, especially in Maine. And I actually had a rainbow. We'll see that in a minute. As for quantitative precipitation, it looks like I think we're done with those 1-inch amounts in Vermont now. So now it's mostly just far northern New Hampshire and northern Maine, and most of it's done. I think tomorrow just a sprinkle north. So the quantitative precipitation forecast is mostly less than a 1/2 inch. And again, in Maine there can be some hail and some rainbows, and up near in the county, as they call it, there may be more than an inch of precipitation near Caribou, Maine today and tonight, with perhaps some isolated hailers. Yeah, the rainbow pictures coming in. One from Vermont. Oh, I forgot. Artistic person got a Vermont. There's his name on X. Vermont rainbow. And also Anson Tebbets, Secretary of Agriculture, I believe, in Vermont, says, don't be startled, but the trees are starting to turn. He says, yeah, it's due to stress. Who's stressed, the residents or the trees? There's been plenty of water, that's for sure. And it's been pretty cold. Last week or so is one of the coldest outbreaks of air you'll have without a storm or a northeast wind or something like that across the eastern United States. And it's the backside of these highs that you got to watch for a lot of times for trouble. On the south side, there's going to be a lot of rain in Florida. The front, let me show the front, stretches from eastern Canada all the way down to North Florida. What a huge cold front. Looking a lot more like late September than the middle of August. And so the cool air has gone all the way right down to the Gulf of Mexico. And with an easterly flow coming in off the Bahamas, Florida's going to get a bunch of rain. And here in the Northeast, we're going to have increasing sunshine day after day. Can't stop watching the boats. I'm all nervous now. There's somebody fishing right in the middle of the channel, not really moving. I guess that's innocent enough, right? As long as there's no tanker coming. A tanker would be dwarfing that boat. And the fishing's been exceptional. Yeah. Look at the birds working over there. Birds working. The sailing yesterday was so fickle. The air was coming in pretty gusty at about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then it went to just about calm during the sailboat race, and then it picked back up. Wind is a tough thing to forecast, but let's give it a try. Out of the west-southwest, starting tomorrow. Here's the Boston Meteo 5-day. The wind is on the bottom with those arrows. It's only 5 to 15 miles an hour, so great boating weather. The instability clouds today go away, and then tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, mostly sunny. Temperatures in the 70s today, tomorrow, into the low 80s. There may be a sea breeze, but looking like a beautiful weekend on Saturday and Sunday before, it looks like maybe a backdoor front next Monday or so. We'll see that in a moment as we go to the Euro. Let's do that now. The upper level low there, about a 10-17 low in Maine, gradually lifts out tonight, tomorrow. And then we finally get under the high pressure system. Now, it's not going to be as cold in New England as it's been elsewhere because this is modified high pressure. So it's just going to be nice with comfortable nights for sleeping. Still some 40s around, but mostly 50s and 60s for lows. And the air is coming around from the west-southwest. And there's the high building right over us. And then stop it again on Sunday at 2 p.m. We've been doing this not just because we love our viewers, Fresh Air Fanatic getting married on Long Island, but we'd love to see how the forecast changes as we get closer. So the change today is that this front in southern Canada looks a lot stronger with thunderstorms in the St. Lawrence River Valley, and you can't really see the H there, but it's about a 1020 H over Quebec. And then we have the 1025 H over south of us, over the mid-Atlantic states. So it looks like we are going to have mostly a west flow, and that means that I'm sticking with partly to mostly sunny on Long Island, about 82 degrees for your wedding, and it looks beautiful. And there may be a few clouds floating through the sky. And then if we put it back into motion after that, that front in southeastern Canada comes through as sort of a backdoor front and another upper level low for New England next Monday into Tuesday. Meanwhile, there's a lot of heat in the middle of the nation, and on the west coast, California, up through the Rockies of Canada, it's going to snow over the weekend and next week, into early next week, as a heat wave comes out of the middle of the nation. But we have another backdoor cold front here about Wednesday or so, if this is right, and that would keep the upper level threat going here with more of a wind from the north than from the west. And then the Thursday features a warm front coming back with warm to almost hot and humid air trying to come at us next Thursday, Friday. And then the weekend, Labor Day weekend, Saturday the 31st, has a sharp front with thunderstorms here. And hopefully this is overdone. A lot of times these are overdone and they lag a little later. But next weekend we are going to be somewhere near the battle zone between warm summer type air and a new batch of autumn air coming into Ontario and the Great Lakes. And we know just about every year on Labor Day something big changes, but we've had so much cool air the last few weeks, week, and so it's going to get warmer, no question. Boston 15-day, there's the wave of warmth coming at us, and then note the shade of the red next week. Even though the operational numbers are in the 70s, the shade says that the uncertainty ranges from about 75 to 88 degrees. So highs next week, 75 to 88, and there's more precipitation there in the bottom. Remember, there was no precipitation there 2 days ago. Then yesterday it was Monday. Now it's Monday and Tuesday, and then again, what is it, Thursday or so. So it is going to be another dose of summer weather next week to go into Labor Day weekend anyway. And the weekend is going to need a lot of work. We'll start stopping the map next Saturday to see how that changes, starting maybe tomorrow or so. Out the door weather and more. Yesterday just cloud watching and cat chasing. This one got away again. I didn't get stung by any bees yesterday. And the lines were all tangled up here. So there's untangled these, untangled that. Very tangled. And the reason we're up late is because Charlie hosted us for dinner and we just kept talking and talking. Charlie caught that striper and he kept it fresh and did a secret recipe, and it came out great. That was a lot of fun, Charlie. Thanks. And no word on what happened to the passengers on that vessel that struck the rock, but no news is good news, as they say. Hopefully they're getting some downtime. That's it for today. Talk to you tomorrow. Noontime. Still have not finished today's out the door weather and more on Wednesday, August 21. So backlogged with I owe the surfers a video, I owe Jeff Eldridge a video, I owe the sailors a video from 2 weeks ago's race, and just loving these clouds, these instability cumulus clouds. And Steve's been out all morning. He just can't get enough. What are you looking at now? Obsessed with the creatures below the bird seed, all kinds of other things. Yeah, and I watered them too. Steve, we're gonna go inside now, all right? It's been out for hours. Steve, this way. Come on. Come. Can't stay out all day. And the plane's landing toward the west, which is great for noise reduction here. And the reason they land toward the west or the east has to do with which way the wind is blowing. The wind is from the west, so that's the direction they point into, also taking off. And a great illustration, too, today of the instability, warmth from the land causing the clouds, the buoyancy. And then over the ocean, it's subsidence, and there's not a cloud in the sky over it in Nantasket. Oh, there's one way out there. And I think we're about done with the Ernesto swell, right? Right. Oh, yeah. Are we going in? No? I'll just chill here for a few seconds. Sure. All right, slider's open 3 inches. That means Steve opened it and went out. I want to go out and check out the cumulus. Radar shows some really nice showers at this time from Gloucester down through Woburn, moving off to the east-northeast. Maybe make a time lapse. Love these pretty clouds, but I lost Steve again. So instead, I think I gotta go search for Steve. Well, while I'm out there, I guess I'll make a little time lapse and hopefully come back and Steve will be at the end of this time lapse, looking towards the north. That is Quincy Yacht Club, dead center. Boston on the left, you can barely make out, and Peddocks Island on the right. Okay. 32-minute time lapse. He was down those old stairs, the ones that they used in the 50s to go down to the old beach, West Augusta. Yeah, he likes those stairs. They try and block him off, but everyone uses them anyway, especially this one. And he escaped like 3 more times after I caught him. But now he's on a rope. Herding cats and doing weather. It's my daily routine. How's the time lapse? I haven't even seen it. You know what's really cool? If I could see them the other way. Beautiful. Incoming jets. Popcorn cumulus. Black bottom cloud. Somebody's getting a rainbow tonight. Back to rainbow weather. I forgot to talk about that. That's a reflection in the window of that cloud right there. Wow.
There's a whole rule of thumb about how the flag is waving and how straight it is.
It feels like at least 5, and the sailboats are gathering for the race, and the wind just picked up as the differential heating of the clouds and the sun went by, so we'll see. Still about a half hour to race time, but there's a good little breeze now. Hope it continues for you guys. Did someone say something about a rainbow like 5 minutes ago? Someone's gonna get a rainbow. Hey, I'm someone, yay. That's funny. Can't even see raindrops coming out of that cloud, which is so interesting. So there must be some great rainbows going where there's a actually bigger cloud. I would love to be able to see the tops of these clouds. Oh, so pretty. But we'll settle for that rainbow. 6:30, and that little sort of push of air we had when the clouds went by is easing. So it does look like we're getting light variable at the race now. Maybe 3 to 7 miles per hour. Beaufort scale 1. Don't see too many sailboats. Is there a race tonight, Kevin? Oh yeah, there they are, way out there. Right off Hull. There they are, there's the fleet. Looking good, you guys. Nice night, beautiful clouds. So I'm just gonna leave it here and play the time lapse of maybe the whole day. Who knows what time lapse we're gonna get. More and more and more. Going over to Charlie's for some stripers and some shrimp and some tomatoes and some cumulus sunset beauty. Oh, one more thing. You can't show up at Charlie's house without anything, so stuff from both of our gardens. He's got the cucumbers and basil, and I grew cheese and tomatoes. Yeah, it's a neighborhood party. All right, till tomorrow.